Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night, wherever you guys are out there in the world. So right now, as we look at a few things, it seems as though discussions are getting pretty heavy on the FX market. Now, mind you, we have been talking about this market forever now, especially around the XRP community. If you've been around since 2016, 2017, 2018, even during the 2019, 2020 timeframe, all focus was on the FX market. And as this market grows tremendously, because it is currently speaking sitting at about roughly a $7.5 trillion per day turnover rate, this is going to be a focus point. Especially as we do look at tokenization, we look at DLT, blockchain being incorporated with AI, and things like that. Now, I made this post back in June. It was June 28th when we seen the announcement of Project Mariana. This is from the BIS, and this is how might we trade and settle for an exchange in the future. Very interesting. Now I said, how to trade and settle FX market transactions that are worth $2.3 quadrillion per year. This project is connected to the MAS. Ripple recently got granted an MPI license from the MAS, and then recently in October, I believe, they got granted a full license. This document also mentions utilizing DLT combined with AMMs, but it is all about Ethereum and ERC20 tokens. No mention of Ripple and or XRP. Interesting timing though, of course. Now, with mentions of Ethereum and ERC20 tokens, would we even consider it being Ethereum? Because we know from experience, we know from all of the actual research that we have done, that Ethereum and Bitcoin are not suitable for this. So what are they going to utilize? And by the way, the AMMs, remember, the automated market makers, that is a thing coming to the XRP ledger. It might take some time, but that's why I've been focused on the AMM amendment on the XRP ledger as well, because it's a big deal. But why am I bringing this back up? Because this is from June. So why am I bringing this up? Well, it's because of this post here. I woke up to it today. Crypto Eddie posting the BIS Project Mariana to trade and settle $7.5 trillion daily FX market. Here we have Ripple in parallel exploring using the AMM and pools of liquidity to solve cross-border cross-currency transactions. Again, the AMM and pools of liquidity. Because remember what the automated market makers do. It creates a ton of liquidity. When we're settling $7.5 trillion a day, well, guess what? You can make a bet that there needs to be a lot of liquidity there to make sure that those transactions actually happen. Now listen closely to this.
So first of all, on Project Mariana, that's a fascinating body of work, and it's something Ripple in parallel is exploring. How we can facilitate cross-border, cross-currency transactions using an automated market maker.
Today, the largest financial market in the world is the foreign exchange market, trading $7.5 trillion a day. How might we trade and settle FX in a tokenized world?
And one of the things I think Claudine commented on earlier was the idea of pools of liquidity. And I think that's one of the often overlooked elements of this, is having that liquidity in place is really critical to making sure those models function.
So, what did we get from that? Well, they want to know how we're going to be trading and settling the FX market in a tokenized economy. Outside of this, we have an individual from Ripple, which did get outlined here, Joe Villano, CBDCs at Ripple, talking about their plans and how they are planning ahead of time to be able to trade and settle this FX market. Now, I know what you guys are probably going to say down in the comments, and I already know there's going to be comments like this that are saying, Nick, when is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? We keep on hearing about this. We keep on hearing about this, and XRP is trading at this, much, whatever. I want you all to realize something real quick. Okay? There is people out there that waited 10 years to make 10%. There's people out there that waited 20 years to make 20%. Right now, currently, it's been 2,000 plus days. It's been around roughly almost 6 years, okay, since XRP made a new all-time high. The reason why I bring this up is because as we look at XRP today, when we finally see XRP make a new all-time high, we're talking about not 10%. We already seen that this year. We already seen 100% plus. When XRP finally breaks out of that wedge, it's game over. Okay? But beyond that, why am I talking about 10 years, 20 years, all this kind of nonsense? It's because as we look at a tokenized economy, all right, and we're talking about the $7.5 trillion per day market, these things are in place. They're already planning around this. This is happening. A tokenized economy, it's happening. I don't need to tell you guys that it is. We have read the documents. We've gone over them on this channel together. You've watched me do it. Their plans are already out there. Yet all anyone cares about in this market is what XRP is going to be trading at tomorrow. And I get it, right? I understand I understand the overall focus on price. Everyone wants to make money in this space, but the most amount of money comes simply from waiting. Because when these things finally go live, it's going to be too late to have that big bag of XRP that you've been, trying to accomplish. Everyone, the smart money has been accumulating. But again, these things take time. We're talking about $7.5 trillion per day. We're talking about $2.3 quadrillion per year. Think about how much money that actually is. So for these things to change overnight, it's not going to happen overnight. But when things do go live, well, guess what? It's game over. Over here from ISO 20022, let's do it. 4M Swift. All right. In order to provide data interoperability between different DLT solutions, Swift is currently exploring the use of ISO 20022 for common instruments such as letter of credit FX options, plus Ripple has line of credit service plus on-demand liquidity expansion to 90% of the FX market. And for those that are not aware, yes, 90% coverage of the global foreign exchange market is already accomplished. We see over here from XRP drops, global payout coverage Ripple 2023, over 70 payout markets available, which represent 90% of the global foreign exchange market. Ripple's global payout network has moved more than 30 billion in payment volume. In 2022, Ripple launched in new markets and upgraded current fiat-based customers to on-demand liquidity across key markets and we have them all mentioned here. Now, as we see how large of a market they are already covering, it's very significant to note the 90% global foreign exchange market that they cover. Now, when we look at this, line of credit, XRP, is utilized within line of credit from Ripple. They allow this. They actually offer this. They've been offering it for a very long time. It used to be a key thing on the Ripple website. They since then removed it. Over here, with on-demand liquidity's expansion into nearly 40 payout markets around the world, representing 90% of the FX market. Also, here's Swift. In order to provide data interoperability between different DLT solutions, Swift Standards is currently exploring the use of ISO 20022 business definitions for common instruments such as letter of credit or FX options. And again, this is all accelerating the rollout of DLT, as you guys do see at the bottom there. Also, move ahead by looking back. DLT and open APIs represent the technology for the future of financial services. There you have confirmation from the largest institutional network out there. 11,000 big banks tapped in to Swift. We're talking about big banks, credit unions, you name it. And they're now telling you DLT and open APIs in the cloud are going to be the future. Open APIs or running through DLT systems ideally need to have a common language to reduce risk and cost. Swift believes that ISO 282, with a few improvements to accommodate new technologies, can not only provide the basis for common standards going forward without distorting development practices or technology choices, but actually accelerate projects by providing ready-made industry-agreed definitions for core business concepts. So ISO 282 not only accelerated this move, but it also provided the standardization that is needed in order to tap into these open API and DLT systems. But fast forward to October, here you guys have October, and again, this is talking about on-demand liquidity reaching 90% of the FX market plus Swift network update to accommodate digital currencies for foreign exchange cross-border trade. Here you guys have, again, the same note from Ripple. Then also over here, the securities messages of this report now accommodate digital assets. Swift has also made changes to its foreign exchange messages in the same report. There is now added support for digital currencies and non-deliverable FX trades that do not have the ISO 4217 currency code. And this is all starting and started on November 19th. Again, crucial steps to be taken here. But also, remember how entrenched Ripple is within this market. All right? Over here, in a recent report from October of 2022, the BIS concluded that OTC FX markets have reached $7.5 trillion per day. This is roughly over $2.3 quadrillion per year. What I find very interesting about this is the last bullet there. 5 jurisdictions make up 78% of all FX trading. Those 5 include the US, the UK, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Japan. Ripple has all 4 of these in the bag, essentially. The US, still in question with the regulatory landscape, but we know Ripple has been working in the UK. We know that Ripple has been working in the Hong Kong area, Singapore, and even the Japan area. I even said Ripple has massive exposure to 4 out of these 5 major jurisdictions, minus, of course, the US due to regulatory scrutiny. There's a ton of opportunity for crypto-enabled solutions in the FX market. A few recent announcements regarding Ripple and XRP include, and I did cover the Singapore major coverage, Hong Kong, and also many other ones within the Japan area with SBI, for example. The UK has been spearheading crypto regulations and adoption with a focus on becoming a crypto hub. There is a ton of exposure to Ripple in the UK, including work around the digital pound and revolutionizing their RTGS system. Many Ripple partners are also leaders around the UK and have been expanding services within the nation for a while as well. And there's a lot more information as well, but also remember that London makes up over 40% of the global FX trading alone, and this is still crucial to note today. Also, remember, back in August of 2022, with Ripple launching their crypto-enabled enterprise payments in Brazil with Travelex Bank, this was also a big one, considering the fact that this is on-demand liquidity with XRP, and this is all centered out on exclusively in the foreign exchange market, as you guys do see there. Again, this is why I say you need to pay attention to the significant moves that have been made so far. Because although they're not providing, a massive spring for XRP to go to $1 plus, this is all major steps being taken. And remember, on-demand liquidity is not a value driver. It is a major demand driver. It creates demand for XRP. There's no loser on the other side of a transaction for on-demand liquidity. So what it does create is demand. And right now, it's not creating enough demand to push XRP just yet. But that is why I say you should be looking forward instead of looking backward. Make sure that you understand that on-demand liquidity is still being heavily focused on right now, and it's crucial for a lot of these players. And also, big shout out to Anderson, going back to September. To be honest, if Ripple wished for XRP to become part of the more traditional FX market, why wouldn't being located in London be a great idea? And yes, They've actually been fully focused on London and the UK for a while. Chris Larsen actually even mentioned that they want to have a headquarters in the UK. And remember that they are a major player for accounting for 40% of the daily trading volume for the FX market. And this is the most liquid market in the world, in London. And also, guess what? Even today, even with the Brexit update, they are still on top of this. It was originally 43% in 2016. Today, I believe that it is still around roughly 40%. And we even see London is hard to beat. The depth and diversity of the skill pool here is unrivaled. Again, it's just showing how significant London actually is. And as we look even back in time this year as well, into a few connections with even the UK and the BIS, for an example. So again, I'm going to bring up the idea that Ripple has been working with the BIS. Ripple also has been working with the Bank of England for some time. Ripple is also on the Digital Pound Foundation, really kind of exploring the use of a digital pound. Beyond that, this year, back in April, we've seen the Bank of England and the BIS ran an experiment to enable simultaneous settlement of an asset and an RTGS payment DVP/atomic of a real estate transaction. Using DLT to synchronize the two could also apply to FX. And this was back in April. This was a crucial one to mention considering the fact that, as we look back in time, Ripple has already been working with the Bank of England on RTGS atomic settlement. Big statement there. Beyond that, we also know in July of 2022, the UK banking system could be wiped out by FX risk. Forex risk of banks is 1.5 times supervisory capital. Hong Kong and Singapore are also 100% plus. That's why the BIS, with the CPMI, which Ripple just joined, is doing a consultation to increase atomic settlement and PVP. Multiple DLT ideas submitted. Tell me right now, it's not important to focus on the fact that the BIS is working with Ripple on the CPMI, all while we've seen back in time, I don't care if it's 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I don't care how long ago it was, Ripple was working with the Bank of England on successful trials of atomic settlement between two RTGS systems. They have all been making these major plans for a while now. They've been running tests, they've been running trials, and the FX market, in my opinion, is very important because, again, this is a massive market. Everything is looking for digital, tokenized, things like that. In this realm, I've always said that Ripple, as a company, with XRP, well, guess what? They're playing chess, while everyone else is playing checkers. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.